A lot of realtors are walking this way, and I'm just going to ask if they know how to house homeless veterans. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
No.
No.
Okay.
I sadly do not.
I do not, but I would love to learn.
I do not.
I do not, but I would like to know how.
The answer to that is no.
No. Do you know how to house homeless veterans?
I do not.
I do not.
Do you know how to house a homeless veteran?
He's a veteran and he would be
Come
homeless
here.
if I did not house.
Okay. We're here at the Capitol, Illinois State Capitol. This is the lobby day for realtors. And I did make an announcement on the bus about my 3-hour course that I wrote to teach realtors how to work effectively with a homeless veteran. Just because the veteran is homeless doesn't mean they don't have resources to use to get housed or to get anything else they need, because they do. But how do you get to those resources to help that homeless veteran get housed? I've got the class, and it'll be out soon. I keep saying I am going to stop saying I've got the class and it'll be out soon. The class was already licensed by the IDFPR and Main Street Organization of Realtors. And I taught a pilot to the community because there's also a class that can be taught in the community because we've got people in the community who wants to learn. But this is the book that video was just talking about, a realtor's blueprint. So if you are a realtor like myself, and you want to learn how to house homeless veterans, then get the book. That's your first line of defense, put it that way, is to get some education. I've created a whole library. Let me grab it up now. These are my babies. I've created a whole library of books for you all to learn from. So this one right here, Veterans, the 3rd edition. This tells you how far we've come. This was our 2nd edition. And then the 1st edition was just a little pamphlet. But even before that, all of this information was in a little folder that each veteran would receive when he or she came to one of my workshops. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, and Consultant in the private and GovCon space. I'm also the subject matter expert and writer for Mission Roll Call in the Veterans Homelessness and Housing space. So I'm national. Hold on, let me show y'all just how national I am. All right, so there you go. And I contacted my printer, said, hey, wait a minute. I have a new state, New Mexico. So I need an updated version. Pour a glass of wine and grab your notebook. That's right. And you know what? You can also go to my bio and get your notebook from Vet Mentors. I have to write notes every single day. And it is advisable when you come and sit down with me that you get a notebook and start writing too, because everybody says, and I already know I drop nuggets, but your biggest gold and oil rush is going to come when you buy some books and read at home. Because that's one thing I do not do for you, is read to you and even tell you what's inside the pages of the book. For instance, listen to this. This book right here I actually wrote this book. I started this book. Let me do this for y'all over here, because y'all can see that right there, right? The media assets over here. So I wrote this book, A Guide to Veteran Shared Living Models, in March of 2025. I'm like, everybody keep asking, and I'm having all of these consultations with people nationwide who say that I want to do veterans shared housing. And how do you do it? I'm like, yeah, I can tell you how to do it. You got to call me and I'll give you the blueprint over the phone on the consultation. I'm like, oh my God, that's just draining because it's too much information. I always forgot something. We always went around the mulberry bush and it was just too much. So exactly, this is, I always say, read the book. I've got a master's degree. You know how long it took to get a master's degree? And I had to read books in order to do it. You have to gain some knowledge. And that's why I put it in here. I've been housing homeless veterans as a realtor for 22 plus years. And I have housed them in all types of situations. And there has been money from all of those different avenues to pay for those veterans to get housed. And that's what we need, all types of housing. I get all of these updates and news information from different sources. The VA, I'm on their email list. And just organizations all over just talking about veterans. Whatever you talk about a veteran housing, I need to know about it. Who's doing what in veterans housing? So I was listening to, what state was this? Was it in Texas? Where the government, they partnered with and they received funding for these homeless people. These weren't even all veterans. These were the homeless people on their streets living in tents. So, and they said they wiped it out and they were showing the people opening doors. And that relief fund, because let me get something. Every place they went, every place these former homeless people went who lived in a tent, they were living in tents along this long strip and obstructing the use of businesses. And I mean, they were just had nowhere else to live. So they lived in a tent along these streets. So the city had got together with this organization and a relief fund. It was a COVID relief fund. Because I'm listening, because I'm like listening. I'm like, okay, where did the money come from? Where did the money come from? Because all of these people who were former homeless, they went to live in somebody's real estate. They went to live in an investor's property. Somebody is paying bills on this property. It could be a mortgage. It could be the light bill, the gas bill, the taxes. It could be anything, but somebody is responsible for keeping this on the tax roll for that city, for that state, for that county. Somebody is, so somebody has a deed in their name for this property. So all of those homeless people went to somebody's piece of real estate. And you think they went there for free? No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Nobody. Who can let thousands of people live in their real estate for free? Nobody. So when my realtor colleagues, and let me grab that book, ask me year after year, hold on a second, let me grab that book. I wrote a book for my realtor colleagues, a realtor's blueprint. Right here. I wrote this book because I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and share with them. Hey, good evening. Thank y'all for showing up. Let me go ahead and share with them what I do, because now maybe they're ready. Maybe they're ready to hear. Maybe they're ready to listen. Maybe they're ready to comprehend. Maybe they're ready to take action. I house homeless veterans and I teach others how to do the same, and not for free. You get paid for what you do, and so do I. So I am a realtor, and I've been a realtor now since 1996. But I've been housing homeless veterans from homeless to home ownership for over 22 years. And I teach others how to do the same, however you want to house homeless veterans. I teach you through my group, through my publications, through education. And wow, thank you so much. She said, that's honorable. Yeah, I was let me see. Let me take this down. That's me right here. Y'all can see me up there at the tender age of 19. That was probably my going away hug from my buddies in the barracks. And they sent me home on a medical because some things were happening to me that were not spoken about while you're in the military, and that was military sexual trauma, and that just traumatized me, and it took me out. I fainted. I had anxiety attacks. I'm 19 being essayed by my drill sergeant. So I had to go. I know you can get housing through HUD-VASH for vets. Stick around. Just stick around. So I've housed as a realtor, and I've trained 3 teams along the way, and nobody's still doing it to this day because it is a lot of work. But I've trained 3 teams, but in all that, I've housed over 5,000 homeless veterans. Myself training my team, where I had to look and see who is who, where they're going, who and what investor in this, and who we're going to send an invoice to. Because all of those homeless veterans, I would say 95% came with a HUD-VASH voucher. And you would think these realtors would be all over that. They would be all over a voucher. These vouchers, let me tell you, these vouchers nationwide pay the rent for property owners. They pay. I've got a voucher. One of my owners just sent me over an email. First, he sent me a text message to say, oh, they sent me an offer. The offer is $1,700 for a 2-bedroom voucher here in Chicago. She's got a 2-bedroom voucher, but she's moving to a 3-bedroom unit with a voucher. That's $1,700. So I'm the listing agent, which I really don't like to list apartments. This owner, he always wants me to list his apartment, and that's fine. So it's listed, and another agent came and brought somebody who she said yes. So now she and I get to split $1,700 on a voucher. We're not co-oping. I'm the listing agent. She's the renter's agent. Then I'm closing on a house on the 15th of second go round. Oh, he's in the book. This veteran made the book, because this veteran right here in the center, veteran in a wheelchair, permanent wheelchair, permanent. How do you do that? And this is a veteran. He was living in a nursing home because he didn't have a place that he could live that would accommodate his mobility issues. Do you consult with potential businesses to help get grants? That's a whole lot of process. First, you got to learn what you need to learn. That's the first step. You want me to tell you that in a consultation where you pay me? Yeah, I can write you up a whole plan that you can do. Go to my DM and I'll write you up a plan, but you got to pay for that plan. But it'll give you a step-by-step, everything you need to do to get to where you want to be. Through education. That's what I could do. That's the consultation. Because I talking on the phone trying to tell you this. No, we don't do that. I'll always miss something. I don't like doing that. So DM me and I'll send you the link for that. So the people say, let me get back to my realtor colleagues. I had one realtor colleague contact me. She said, Yvette, I remember you told me you work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'm like, why not? Yeah, why do I have to work from sun up to sundown and be up all night and Saturday and Sunday doing open houses? And really? No. As a veterans realtor, the agencies that I work with who referred veterans to me all day, every day, they work a certain time frame, either 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 or maybe 7 to 3. So why should I work when they're not at work? If a veteran calls me at 7 o'clock at night, what you want to do? What? So we're not doing that. I'm going to talk to your social worker, get a referral emailed over to me so I know who's coming and where they're going. You tell me who is this person, and I know exactly where they need to be. Whether they need to be in a transitional, hold on a second, I got that book too, in transitional housing, or whether they need to be in permanent housing. So let me give y'all some updates on what's going on in the community. One moment, please. It is, oh, you know what? I forgot to tell y'all. Somebody nominated me for another award. Another award. I got all these awards from the Senate, from the National Association. No, who is that from? Main Street Association of Realtors, Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, and Omega Psi Phi fraternity. I said the senator, right? Hold on. Woman's World magazine had me in there twice this year. This is this one. So let me tell you, housing homeless veterans, it is not a fad. People come in the community and they, wait a minute, they and I've seen this. We would have resource fairs at the VA, and a lot of resources lined up. And I would go around and meet everybody because I was the first on the scene, the first realtor, the first veteran on the scene here in Chicago, housing homeless veterans, and never left. I trained social workers and case managers. That's this book right here at the VA. Jesse Brown VA and Hines VA. Hold on a second. I've got letters in the book so y'all can get the book and read the book. And this book also teaches social workers, case managers, human care professionals, and first responders how to work effectively and collectively, and I said effectively, right, in the community. Because you can't house a homeless veteran without the community. You can't. I was successful in housing so many homeless veterans is because I created a community. I created a community of investors. I created a community of individuals who wanted to be leasing agents back in the day. So I had to train them on how to use this system right here. I created collaborations with, I was already at the VA. Then I had to create collaborations with organizations outside of the VA because they're the ones who had extra money. Yes. Some of the veterans did not qualify for HUD-VASH, but you have agencies within our community that have received, and this has been going on for all the years that I have been housing homeless veterans. Over 22 years. Just in fiscal year 2026, there is over $900 million circulating our veterans community. August 27th, the Department of Veteran Affairs announced more than $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. Oh, but that wasn't enough. Requests were still coming in. Bids, thanks for joining my club. RFPs, RFIs, source, everybody just say, hey, we have these organizations. We've already put in for these grants. Look at us. Well, you know what? This $818 million is not enough anyway. So let's go ahead and award an additional 176 organizations and award them $87 million. So now 84 million. So now you have over $900 million for fiscal year 2026 circulating our homeless and at risk of being homeless veterans. This is money that is in addition to HUD-VASH. This is our Chicago HUD-VASH. So when you say, and I hear this so much, Yvette, I want to house homeless veterans. How do you want to house homeless veterans? How? And then you say, oh, and I want to get some grants. How are you going to do that? What do you have the steps to doing that? Because this is not like a walk in the park on a sunny day where you can take your shoes off in the grass and just feel the moisture and heat under your feet. This feels so nice and gushy. It's not like that. This is a lot of work. And it takes care and concern of those who say you want to do it. It's not, my partner and I, we say this all the time. This is not a money grab. When I say we have organizations in our community nationwide who have received, let me just tell y'all. Let me give you an organization here. Let's go to Mississippi. Let's go to Mississippi. Mississippi United to End Homelessness. They received a grant for fiscal year 2026 over $1 million. And what is that money for? That money is for providing supportive services to veterans and veteran families. $1 million. Oh, that's not enough. You have another organization in New Jersey, Catholic Family and Community Service, received a grant of over $3 million. What are they supposed to use that money on? Providing supportive services to veteran families. And those services, you might ask, housing and housing counseling, healthcare, financial planning services, child care, legal assistance, transportation. So when you say that I want to do veterans housing, well, this money right here is already allocated. It's already allocated. How do you access this money? That's what you need to be finding. Now, how do you access this money? In order for you to say, I want to be a provider to that organization or any other organization that is on these lists or other lists that I don't even have on my lap. How can you be a provider for your veteran shared living model home? Get this book if you want to know more, to house these veterans on their intake that's coming to their intake. These veterans could be in my book, senior veterans, women veterans, just as involved veterans, disabled veterans. And what's the severity of the disability from 1 to 100? Who are you going to house in your veteran shared living model? Veterans of domestic violence, men, women, do they have children? How are you going to set all that up? Or veterans of LGBTQ plus. Oh, let me show you all over here some media assets that I read today from one of my readers, and I'm going to read it out loud so you guys can hear. So this book, this is from Vegan Queen over here on TikTok. She bought the book and she bought 2 books and went on vacation and had the book sitting on, go buy a book and then read the reviews. You can read it yourself on Amazon. This book is a game changer. I met the author during her live videos, and she recommended this book for beginners and anyone interested in housing veterans. I read it during my honeymoon. It was a good read. I highly recommend the book to anyone interested. Honeymoon. Here's one that just came in, and this what I'm getting ready to read is also on my YouTube. I interviewed captain of the U.S. Army, Africa H. So go and watch that video. So I wish I would have listened sooner, because I told her she's my client. She's been my client since August 2024. She said, I wish I would have listened sooner and purchased this book. It would have saved me so many headaches when I first began navigating how to properly structure a transitional home. Yvette breaks down everything down step by step, from identifying the different types of housing, which I just read, models to understand exactly who you want to serve, and how to set your program up the right way from the start. I am truly thankful for this book. It gave me clarity, direction, and confidence in areas where I had been struggling. I will definitely be purchasing another one of her books. Highly recommend. So, okay, I do have a couple questions from people. Let me see. Somebody said club. Oh, you joined my club. Thanks, Wit. Do you consult? Okay. I'm on the road, but I'm listening, and I thank you for the information. Oh, my pleasure. Tisha Talks, my esteemed pleasure. I'm here 5 days a week until 2026, because my coach told me, instead of coming on every day like this, that I come on some days live, and then some days I'm doing some Q&As, and some days I got to get my 2026 schedule together. Rihanna, hey, what's the name of the book again? So just go to my bio. It depends on which book. I've got several books, a lot. So one book I just talked about was a guide to veterans shared living models. And the reason I talk about, I'm a veteran, and I only talk about veteran stuff because I've been in this community of housing for over 22 years. Did I tell y'all somebody sent in a, what's it called, a nomination? I think it was a nomination for me to receive the Red Cross Heroes Award. I'm like, oh, that is so nice, for doing the work that I've been doing in the community over 22 years. In hiding, I've never been on live to talk about this to y'all, to anybody, because when I wrote a class back in 2014 to teach realtors how to work effectively with the Section 8 process, it was a legal issues core B class, not an elective. This was a core. Hold on, you're saying a whole lot of stuff real fast. Hold on one second. I'm going to scroll up and read it. And I taught that class for like 2.5 years, and they were so resistant. Why are people resistant to housing homeless people when you could become homeless yourself, 1-2 paychecks away? You can get an injury and can't make any money, and then what? You're gonna look down on yourself because now you feeling some type of way. You want somebody to help you. That's what this is. That's what this education is. It's to help you help somebody. So don't put your nose down because somebody is homeless. You don't know where that homeless person been or where they need to go, and you're the one to help them. I was a homeless female veteran running away from a very abusive Marine, actively serving Marine husband. And I just needed somebody. I needed the VA. I needed somebody at social work level, case management level, program management level. I needed an RN nurse. I needed a police officer. I needed military police to go pick him up because he's still actively serving. I needed everybody, but there was nobody helping me. Nobody. I had to navigate all of that by myself as a 22-year young girl. I didn't have nothing. My family, they turned away. They're like, well, you keep going back. Well, you're not allowing me to stay. Where do I have to go back to? On the street or with the abuser? Nobody was saying, here, Yvette, here's a homeless shelter you can go to. Nobody said, here's some funding and we can put you up in some transitional housing. Nobody said, you know what? Here's a voucher. We can help you rent a place. Nobody said that. So now as a realtor, I fight for this veterans community, and specifically this homeless veterans community, because I had to go through that shit and I had to navigate my way. And when I did that, I'm like, I know where to go. I know where to take off 5,000 plus of y'all. I built a community under the confines of the VA as a volunteer. They never paid me for my services, and I did that for 13 consecutive years at the Vet Center in Forest Park, Illinois, alone. In this book right here, this is my 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. You can see the pictures. Like my coach, retired Colonel Michelle Gardner Inks, retired from the U.S. Air Force. She said, Yvette, you got the receipts. Yeah, I got them. I got a whole lot of receipts for over 22 years. So this is my team and I at the Jesse Brown VA. And I set that up hey, Mr. Bain, I set that up every single year for 13 years right here at the vet centers. I was at one vet center, the Forest Park Vet Center. That letter is in one of these books. The Forest Park Vet Center for 13 years. This was the first Veterans Housing Resource Fair that I conducted, that I put on. You contact me to reserve your space. And you had to be a veteran or somebody who served veterans in order to get up in there. You had to register. I didn't even use Eventbrite. You had to call me personally. I had to drill your ass before you came up in my house to serve veterans. I'm very protective of my veteran community, especially my homeless veterans. And they said this was August 2013, August 1st, 2013. And I was going to the VA, going to homeless walk-in. They're like, Yvette, I missed the housing fair. And the social workers, Yvette, we need another one. So 2 months later, October, second one at the same vet center in Forest Park, 2013. My last workshop at that very same vet center was 2025. But this is one that I held at the same vet center. No, this was at the Jesse Brown VA, 2024. So when you say, where you been all this time? We don't know you. You don't got to know me. The veterans do. Everybody at the VA, you need housing. You're a homeless veteran. Call Yvette, because she's going to get you housed. And that's what I teach now. So don't be calling me talking about, Yvette, I got a homeless veteran. I'm a realtor. Okay, then learn how to house that homeless veteran. I'm not out pouncing the ground anymore. You have a homeless veteran, and you're a realtor, then you need to find an investor to allow you to house that homeless veteran as a transaction and get paid. Because if you call me and tell me, Yvette, I have a homeless veteran, can you work with him or her? And what do you want? I'm doing all the work. I'm taking this homeless veteran who is your client by the hand, talking to them about their benefits, where to go to apply, because they're being a homeless veteran. They don't have all the benefits that they need to make them a whole person. So I'm talking to them about, hey, you need to go to the regional office. You need to go talk to a VSO down there. Go and register with the DAV. Go to the vet center and talk to a VSO there, but make sure you stay on top of all your appointments, because that's what they're going to tell you. So you want me to do all the coaching, and you got the voucher. You want me to fill out their whole RTA. What? Then you want me to do a lease with my investor. What? You want me to do all that work because you said you have a homeless veteran. Did you referring this person to me? You expect a commission split for what? What did you do? You brought a veteran with the voucher. Okay, good. If I don't have a place, go find a place. If I have a place, what work do you know how to do along the way? Because then we need to negotiate. Because it ain't going to be no 60, 40, 70, 30, 50, 50. If I'm doing all the work, you brought the veteran out. Yeah, we can do a 90, 10. Because you're not trying to do nothing. And my investors, I require that they have somebody at the inspection. I will sit my butt right here. I remember once I housed 22 veterans in one day. How many inspections do you think I went to? If I housed 22, I got 22. I'm doing 22 of these, 22 RTAs. Now, some of the veterans went to the same property, and what I had was my investors' documents already made up. I knew what pages to use and then just add in. Because that's a lot of paperwork. And it's not just these three. It's a lot of paperwork filling out an RTA packet. Then I have realtors to say, well, that's too much paperwork. Have you ever sold a house before? Have you ever been the buyer's agent before? Have you ever been the listing agent before? Because if you have been either, it's the same paperwork, just has a different name to it. That's it. You're going to get property information, that investor's information, the disclosures. In this case, a lease. It's still just paperwork. Either you're going to do the paperwork or you're not going to house a homeless veteran. So hold on one moment. Let me come back here and read some of these questions over here on TikTok. Y'all over here asking some amazing stuff. Do you consult? No. So let me go back, and because somebody probably, do you consult with potential businesses to help get grants to have housing for veterans? You got to learn everything before you can just jump on top of a grant, because it doesn't work that way. And my partner, he does processes for grants and contracts. I don't do that. I do enough. Trust and believe. I'm on the road, but listening good. Hey, what's the name of the book again? All of them. They're in my bio. I'm getting set up in Indiana and Chicago. I found several landlords that will partner with me. Hallelujah. Partner with you to do what? But not in Chicago. Yes, I am also a veteran Army and also am experiencing housing insecurities. Send me a DM so I can make sure you get all the resource information you need in your city, your state, and also write congressional letters. Sometimes, oh my God, this just gave me it's a lot of fight to do in this community. You cannot sit up and say, I'm concerned with veterans. We shouldn't have homeless veterans. What is the government doing about this? So as you saw the money, over $900 million in just 2 sets of grants that have been awarded to 411 organizations nationwide. That money needs to be used. But how do you connect that homeless veteran or that veteran with housing insecurities to that money? Well, first of all, you got to learn, who are these organizations? How can I find out who these organizations are? That's part of your education. Trust and believe, if these veterans, homeless veterans knew, and veterans of housing insecurity knew where these organizations were, do you think they would be sitting up there homeless without these organizations' help? Don't nobody want to be homeless. Nobody. I know I did. I was homeless 7 or more. I just stopped counting at 7. I was running away from this food from 1987 to 1993. How many times you think I ran away every year just for my safety and to find some type of peace from getting beaten or having to fight? That's double whammy. Now I'm experiencing domestic violence and homelessness. That's what veterans go through. So if you say you want to house homeless veterans, you have to know how to navigate our benefits and our resources. And then to find out where you're going to get paid to do that. And that's what I teach you in my private group. Good evening. I just came across your page. How do I get started? Go to my bio and get some books. Let me know you got them. When you get them, take a picture holding the book that you got in your hand. I have one of my hold on, let me see which other. Okay, he got all three of these and he's holding all three of these books right here in front of him. That's Robin. Thank you, Robin. Glad you got that email today. I sent out a ton. Thank you so much for joining my club. I sent out a ton of information via email because this is nothing that you're going to step up. Like I taught my little goddaughter how to ride a bike in an afternoon. Oh no, this is not that. This is not that. I'm just giving you an overview of what to think about, what to look out for, what to look at. Partner with me to allow me to use their property to open it for veterans. Okay, well, you need the education to know how to open it for veterans. I hope you get the books because you're going to open a home for veteran. That's great. Who's going to pay you to do that? You know, I see a lot of hold on a second. I'll come over here to where's that? I think that's YouTube. One moment. Oh, y'all been asking a whole lot of stuff over here. And a lot of my answers will be get a book. Get a book and read a book. And that's what I'm going to say in just a moment. So this is my library. I'm the writer and the publisher. I open my own publishing company just so I can publish my own books, and they're sold on various platforms. And my website, which is vetmentorsonline.com. You can go to my website and purchase these books, and you can read more about me. And that's what I'm going to tell you to do, because I don't give you answers like that. It's too much. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So when you buy the book and you hold the book up and take a picture, send it to me. I'll put you in my private group. How can communities better identify veterans who need immediate housing support? They have to put the word out. They have to put the word out. How do you think communities can identify veterans who need immediate housing support? If they're not saying, hey, we're helping veterans who need immediate housing support. How? If they're not inviting these veterans to come and tell them we need emergency housing support, and then the communities also have to be able to respond with emergency housing. And that's education. I write housing plans for individuals, families, cities, and states. I forgot townships too. I wrote some amazing housing plans for townships. What partnership model has proven most reliable for long-term housing? HUD-VASH, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about long-term housing. Because the way I teach you how to house homeless veterans from transitional to long-term housing, because they can be in your transitional model, whatever you set up for long-term, but what population is that? Why do you want to put populations in housing for long-term under a partnership model? Think about that. So if you have a transitional housing model house facility, and you have these homeless veterans who are now in your property transitioning, they should be transitioning to go somewhere. These are veterans, right? Veterans, I tell everybody this, and I told somebody this yesterday. I said veterans are nieces and nephews of Uncle Sam. We could benefit from our federal benefits, and those in my private group, y'all got this yesterday. Or if you're not in my private group, then go to va.gov/get started and download this federal benefits book. When you're housing a veteran in your transitional housing unit, find out what the next steps are. Help them transition out. Help them, guide them to their next benefits bucket of benefits through the federal. Hold on. Oh, I put them down here. The federal, through the state. I'm in Illinois, so now you want to make sure they get their Illinois benefits. This is a book that the Cook County Commissioner's Office came out with. Make sure they know what their county benefits are and apply for them. This is you having a transitional living model set up for these former homeless veterans to come to transition from, unless you have a veteran shared living model home where that's where they're going to transition from, if you get what I mean. But when they transition from life to expiration, you have to be available to that family. So you have to know, how are they going to transition out? What's been set up for them to be taken out by the morgue? Who's going to receive them? What insurance do they have to pay for a burial? See, these are things you have to think about when you're saying, I'm going to set up a homeless veterans. I want to house homeless veterans. Okay, and then what? They got a crib. They got a roof over their head. They gonna sit up all day and do what? And go where? What's the accomplishment that you're helping them do? We know what you're getting. You're getting some money from somewhere. Hope it's not a money grab. Hopefully you've connected with one of these organizations that receive over $900 million. That makes you legit. You start your LLC. You start a 501c3 so you can partner the correct way with these organizations. So when it's time for you to get on that $900 million list, you already proved yourself. Your program has successfully moved these veterans from your shared living to hey, home ownership. That's what we're talking about here. Not just having these veterans lay up and do nothing just because you got a check every month. Don't be a money grab. And don't contact me to ask me how you do it. Because if you're not buying my books, implementing what I write to show you how to do it the right way, then don't talk to me. You're not a friend of mine. These are some veterans who attended my workshops over the years. Oh, right here. Let me show y'all the real picture over here. Hold on one moment. Uno momento, right there. Bam. So this picture right here is at the Jesse Brown VA CRRC. I was the first. I'm going to keep saying it. I was the first realtor, the first veteran, the first advocate who did not have a contract come to the CRRC to house homeless veterans. Every other organization was on that, back then, the $900,000 list, and still are. I didn't leave the CRRC until I think April of this year, when the Doge came in and started closing and telling people they got to go, and then all this trumped up shit. I'm like, oh, y'all give me a headache. Who's going to house these homeless veterans? Who's going to take them by the hand? Who's going to do that? Oh, well, we can still call you. I really don't want to hear from you. It wasn't their fault, but it's just how all of that was done. How all of that was just not even a concern for these veterans. So that's what I'm saying. This is something you want to do it the right way, do it the ethical way, do it where you're really making a difference in somebody's life. And that's why it took all this time after I had a heart attack, COVID-19, pneumonia, and a stroke. I was on the hospital bed. negotiating a closing, not even a closing, but an offer for a veteran who I didn't even know. I forgot who the veteran was until she showed up at one of my workshops and stood up, because I would have everybody who comes to my workshops stand up. You have something to say, don't say that from your seat, because we got veterans in the back of the room. We got veterans in the middle of the room who can't hear. You come up to the front. You come up to the front and you project your voice so everybody can hear you. So she got up and I'm like, ooh, she's getting up. What's she saying? Because she never talks. And then Yvette, I don't want nobody to know. But now she's telling everybody. Yvette negotiated a transaction, my house. I got my house, and she was on the hospital bed a day after she had a heart attack. I'm thinking this way. God didn't keep me. He didn't keep me. I still got a mouth. I can still talk, and she needs this house. She was on Section 8 on HUD-VASH and bought a house. More than half of these people in my book, on this page right here, were homeless. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6, 7, 8, 9. So half of them. That's what I said. Half the people, and I'm not going to tell you who, but half the people who are standing here at a closing was once homeless. Half of them. From homeless to a veteran owning their own house or 4-flat. Some of them got 2 or 3 flats. Can you send me a list of books that I need to get into your program? You can go to my DM and you can tell me what it is you want to do. And then I could recommend the right books for you to start learning. And then I'll put you in my private group. Thank you for that. Hey, Sergeant Wolf, we're getting all this flack from these people, and I really don't appreciate it. So I was working, I'm not working, was. Oh, let me see. I got some questions over here. Hold on, Sergeant Wolf, Marlene. What partnership? Okay, we talked about that. And then we have Brandon Young. Yay, glad to be part of the community. Thank you so much. It is a movement, y'all. It is a movement. Did you see she gonna talk about take my name off this email? And I told her, no, you're part of this. You're part of this. I know exactly what she could have done, but they don't know. They don't get involved at that level. They want to sit down. Here's the list. You do it. And then ask her, is there training? Does your department offer training to this community? Because I train. Where's that picture? Oh, I have a picture in my master class that's coming up showing back in 2017 where I would go to the VA and we would have these workshops to train investors at the VA. They would come to the VA to be trained to learn how to work in the community with veterans with vouchers. And she said, no, we don't offer that. So glad to be in the community. Mr. Bain. I know you told me, so you'll be at the VA Wednesday. Hold on, Wednesday? I won't be at the VA Wednesday. We have to connect some other kind of way, Mr. Bain. How do you see HUD-VASH evolving in the next few years? The same way it's evolved for veterans. Now, what it could do, let me tell you this. Ooh, that's so good. This is Shiro Coffee, Melissa Farmer Hill. This is the best coffee I ever had. I could drink it hot or cold, black or sweetened. And that's the medium roast. So shout out to Melissa Farmer Hill, owner. She's a U.S. Air Force retired, and she's the owner of Shiro Coffee Club, and it's my favorite coffee. What's the fastest way to connect a homeless veteran with resources right now? Learn how to do it. Get my book, The Orange Book. That'll help you. It's called Finding Home. get this book. It's too much to be telling you all that. How can real estate agents advocate without getting lost in the policy details? What policy details? Danny, what are you talking about? What policy details? What? We know what to do as a realtor. We know contracts. Is that policy you talking about? We know disclosures. Is that the policy you talking about? What? Because this is everything we have to do according to policy. So it's not getting caught up or getting lost in policy details. We are advocating. We are working within the policy and the details. So you cannot do real estate as a realtor. You can't without following policy. On Wednesday, I'm supposed to have a virtual HCV meeting. Good. As a what? And that's what I suggest everybody do. Go to if it's New York City, Chicago, Denver, go to the HCV website and schedule yourself for a class for the tenant, what do they call them now? The tenant and the investor. It's like it's informational. I've gone to several. I need to go to another one. I was thinking of doing a co-living house. Okay, get my book. They don't HUD-VASH. They're not HCV. They're not paying for this. HCV pays for rentals for a whole family or an individual, but not for rooms, not for beds. When they start doing that, that's going to be a game changer if they are able to ever start doing that. And that's why they have these organizations that receive the $900 million to pay for transitional housing. I just read something in California. Was it California I think it was California. They're streamlining, trying to get rid of permanent housing. And I'm like, that's a no-brainer. Do transitional housing with programs for the veterans, because that way you will transition them out the right way into permanent housing by using any of the benefits that they get in the community, and then helping them get their benefits through federal. They could be service-connected disabled veterans at 100%. You can buy a house. So it's a lot that we have that you have to know about before you just say, I want to do veteran shared housing. I want to do veterans housing, because it's more than just housing. Now we have a question over here. What role does community outreach play in preventing homelessness early? By educating the people, educating the veterans. And it's several. Yeah, it's all of my books, all of them. My mind goes everywhere. Which housing model, tiny homes, transitional housing, or permanent, works best? It depends on where you are and who you are. What do you want your life to look like as a veteran? I mean, how do you want it to end up? So you go from transitional housing, you want to go to a tiny house community. You want to go to permanent housing, and how is that going to all set up? Road Warrior Trucking. Good evening, Miss Yvette. I have purchased the book. Hallelujah. So go to my DM. When you get it, take a picture of yourself holding that book. And then when you're finished reading it, go to Amazon and do a review. But let me know when you get your book, take the picture with it. And I need your full name, your email address, and your phone number so I can put you in my private group. And also, if you're new in my private group, you're still receiving the same email that I sent to the current group members, because this information for 2026 is here to stay until that money is gone, until next year. And then we have, okay, so let me get back here. What role does community outreach play in preventing homelessness early? Through education. So I was talking to we have a ministry at church. I shouldn't put them on blast, but this is to help the whole community, because we have churches, right? And churches are 501c3s. Churches can be a hub for outreach, for resources. And I wrote a housing, homeless prevention, credit, home ownership. All of this is combined with my resource fairs. So churches can have these. This is one that I did here. The second one that I did at the vet center. Churches can have these resource fairs. They can have these resource fairs and bring in all of the resources that veterans could use prior to them becoming homeless. Hold on, I gotta find something. And also be a resource hub for veterans by having, a person who is educated in knowing how to move veterans around with the resources that we have in the community. I'm trying to find, it's too many books. I got so much stuff. So I had put a resource and benefits fair together on paper. And I have that ready to submit to my church because they don't know. It's just that simple. They don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody can comprehend housing a homeless veteran. It's just like out of reach. And it's simple. All you have to know is where the benefits are, how you're going to attach them to these benefits. That's one thing. Then you have to have the community ready to catch these veterans once they receive those benefits, or catch in the community once they have HUD-VASH benefit. So you have to know what to do with these veterans when they come to you. And that's where realtors fall short. How can I sit up here in Chicago and house homeless veterans with the same resources that you have in your city and your state, but you say, I don't know how to house them? And they're coming to you with those resources in hand. And you also can learn how to help them find resources. For instance, page 71 in Finding Home, I had a veteran to call me from Hawaii. This veteran, a Marine female veteran, homeless in her car in Hawaii, called me, and I sent her all the resources that she needed, and she found the help that she needed. This book is full of that, and it teaches you how to find those resources. I was looking for yesterday. I'd gone to this thrift store, this upscale thrift store, and their prices are real inexpensive. And I'm like, I'm trying this new craft, and I don't want to mess up my stuff. And my husband told me, well, you can't have no more of my ties. And then I saw a girl on TikTok. She had this beautiful jacket, blazer on, men's blazer with the iron-ons. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get me one of those. But how do you know what you need to know if you haven't studied that? If you haven't been paying attention to that? No, I'm just going to sew some stickers, not stickers, but patches on different places. I started making the ties, no sew ties, and I made myself an army one. It's kind of cute. It looks more like for the 4th of July though. I'll take a picture and show everybody. But if you haven't studied this community, And you're just ones to talk and say we shouldn't have homeless veterans, but you haven't studied what's in the community to help homeless veterans. You don't know that it's okay. It's okay, investor. It's okay, realtor, to house a homeless veteran with the voucher or with any of this money. It's okay. It is. You won't get in trouble. If a homeless veteran comes to you with the voucher and you're a realtor and you have an investor who owns a house and they are all they need for you is to get a renter up in here. It's okay to house a veteran with the voucher in this house. It's okay. You won't get in trouble. You won't. As a matter of fact, you'll be helping your client cash flow, and you'll help this veteran get out of homelessness. It's just that simple. You don't have to do anything else. All you have to do is get this investor to say yes. That's it. This veteran has already been approved by the VA. The VA social workers have a checklist. They have an intake. And if this veteran, no, not for, what about shared living? I need a whole I need a whole dialogue here. I can't even think what that question could be. I just finished reading. Hey, Mr. Wallace, good evening. Good evening, Mrs. Swanson. I just finished rereading another one of your books. Which one? And Mr. Wallace, please take a picture of you and your wife holding those books and send it to me. That's going to be in our history, because when I write the book of all the successful veteran shared living model providers, you'll be in that book. This is a movement, and we want people to know that it is possible because it's already done. It's already in play. That's why this $900 million is in our community. But you have to know how to learn how to connect with those agencies that have already received the money. As for the voucher, can we accept vouchers? No, you cannot. A voucher is for an apartment, a condo, or a house for that one person or one family. That's different money. Let me show you. So this is voucher. This is a HUD-VASH, and you can also go and download. If you have my book, DM me. I need your email address, your phone number, and your full first and last name. And you need to go read in this book right here. If all of my members receive this download as a PDF, download it and read it. HUD-VASH is on page 67. Grant per diem, that's what this money is in the SSVF organizations. That's different money, and it's for different types of housing. That includes transitional housing, shared living, co-living, but the HUD-VASH does not. HUD-VASH is for a family. We live here. Our name is on the mailbox. Ain't nobody else's. So no. And that's what's important about education. Let me see. What else do y'all have to say over here? Oh, okay. It's 6:23. I think I've been on long enough. I got to get off here in 7 minutes, but I think I've been on long enough on YouTube. Y'all can always go back, and I want y'all to go and watch this video interview of. I'm so proud of her. When I first met her, I said, "I'm so proud of you." She's a captain in the U.S. Army, and I interviewed her on one of my YouTube. So go back and watch that full video, because she told you in the beginning, look, Yvette, and I kept telling her, I said, get the book. You're doing too much. Get the book. So when she finally got the book, she finally read the book, and I sent you a message through. Okay, good. So she finally read the book, and in her review of the book, she tells you that she should have gotten the book and read the book. It would have saved her half the time. Hey, sis. Hey. Oh, let me see. Lucania. I like Lacania. Hey, now. Daughtery. Hey, sis. I want to thank all y'all for being here this evening. Man, I never thought I had to come. Can you tell me? Can I tell you what? I never thought I had to come live or come in public ever talking about this to anybody. Because I'm like, if anybody wanted to house homeless veterans, they could be housing homeless veterans. Why am I the only one housing homeless veterans? But I saw that people still weren't housing homeless veterans when the VA said, okay, but you can't come back. I'm like, but nobody's housing homeless veterans. Where are the realtors housing homeless veterans? Where are the advocates housing homeless veterans? Where? What this live is about. I just got here. So I house homeless veterans and teach others how to do the same for money. I'm a realtor. I've been a realtor since 1996, and I house homeless veterans, and I teach others how to do the same. I have a whole lot of books that teach you how to do that. That's my library. I call it my encyclopedia. I teach you where to find the money. But you got to read the books. You got to buy my books and read, because I do not go and tell you details about it's too much. So you got to read the book. And then let me know when you get the book. You know, he told me my sign will be ready. This sign will be ready. So get any of my books. So hold on. My printer just told me my new sign will be ready tomorrow at 9 a.m. So these are all the places where I have advocates, or where I have spoken to or helped to get housed, and also all of the places sent resources to the homeless veterans to use to be able to get housed. And that's what this book talks about. Finding Home. It's a nationwide guide to veterans resources, because we got all types of resources in our community. And in your shared, I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't have New Mexico. Wait a minute. I do have New Mexico. Yes, I do. New Mexico is the new one that just came. That's for new. So go new Albuquerque, New Mexico. No. You see that, right? North Carolina or South Carolina. I mean, Dakota. Oh, you said Carolina. No. Where is it? Where is it up there? Where's the Carolina? Oh, no, nobody in North Carolina. South Carolina, yes, but not North Carolina. So get the books. This is a movement. I have a veteran. Let me tell you, I wrote a sweet plan for this veteran. Okay, I'll keep y'all on just another 3 minutes. Sweet plan for this veteran in Georgia. It's in rural Georgia. And what is it called? Oh my God. It's in Georgia you'll never heard of it. You can be here at 7:30 a.m. How you gonna tell me? I'm gonna be working out at 7:30 a.m. Just have it ready. Because tomorrow, but you can help. Yes, I can help. I'm nationwide. You can help with North Carolina. You get my books and you read them. You can be the advocate in North Carolina. That's what I'm telling you. So I created a plan for rural Georgia. Oh, I forgot the name of it. But anyway, he said, Yvette, I got this land. I'm like, take some pictures. Show me that land. Show me what you got on that land. Take me all around. I want to see all around. It's got like 3 or 4 acres. And he has a computer training center where they got a grant to do some computer training for veterans. It's a smooth walk in to the plan that I created for him. Ooh, that coffee is so good. Y'all got to get educated. This right here is a binder of programs. Whenever I go out to events, I pick up flyers, I pick up brochures. That is, of activities and things that are offered in our veterans community. What is that? That was something else. Here's somebody's look, South Suburban Housing Center. So everything for veterans up in here. We've got the RTA veterans get free bus passes to ride, so all of this stuff. So whenever you hear about a veterans event, go so you can start learning what's in your community. So back to this plan to do veterans housing, but he wasn't ready for veterans housing because there was no housing structures yet. There was still a slab, which it's not even new construction. That's a rehab with the VA loan up to a 4-unit. So anyway, I'm like, okay, so until you can get your money up, this is the program that we can create, and we can put in through my partner who does contracts and procurement, set the whole program up and start offering the program. Start offering the program. When they come for your computer training, have them do your program. It's 2 or 3 acres of land. You know how it feels to a veteran to be on open land and to just sit on a bench with the sun shining on us and no worries in the world. Just sitting there relaxing and meditating, hearing the birds chirp, the frogs croak, or whatever other, hopefully not, wolves or nothing, but things, the crickets cricket, in solitude and peace. I mean, it's just, he said, Yvette, I see it. I mean, it was more elaborate than that, but he said, Yvette, I see it. That's your program. That's how you make your money to start your veterans housing. And he wants permanent housing. What does permanent housing look like? A voucher. And who does he want to house? I forgot who he said, but veterans for sure. But what population? I forget. But it's a whole plan that gets him to the contract. You have to start the plan. You have to plan it. You got to do it. And then it gets you to the contract. But before you get to the contract, you have to know who you can partner with to get paid to house these veterans. Somebody wants to have a conversation with me about transitioning veterans from LinkedIn. Thank you for that, LinkedIn. That's a consultation depending on what you want to do. I don't just talk to people. I want y'all to understand me real good. I've been doing this for 22 years. And the conversations that I have with people who don't know anything about this gives me a headache. Because all you want to know is how you do what's in the book. And that's the reason I wrote the books. I can't have these conversations until you get some knowledge. And then we can have strategy calls. You feel me? I want to thank y'all for being here. I got to go and check and see if my business cards are ready, because tomorrow, man, if that lady, she called me 2 times. I said, I told you I'm going to set up a table. I'm going to be at the Veterans Business Enterprise. I've got a certification. It's called a VBE, Veteran Business Enterprise, with the city of Chicago. As a matter of fact, I've got 14 certifications. So she's called me on the phone. I said, yes, I registered. And I also sent you an email that I'm going to have a table set up. So now I got to go make sure my business cards are ready. I'm printing out. I'm not taking all my books. All I'm doing is taking the front of the book. It's already printed on a where they can QR code it and see what I do. And also, I got to create a flyer to let everybody know and you guys too, follow Mission Roll Call. I'm the new subject matter expert, writing about veterans, homelessness, and housing and the solutions thereof. So please follow Mission Roll Call. My first debut article went out December 1st. And then I gave them 3 more, so I don't know which ones they're going to choose next. Thank y'all for watching. And I'm going to end the stream over here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Have an amazing day. And if you have not gone to follow me, click and like, and click that bell for updates and all the new videos that are coming out, please do that at this time. I just started coming live every day the end of August, because when I was downsized as a volunteer, hold on, and not as any volunteer, I was vetted by the VA. The VA did my fingerprints, background check. They did all that jazz. And I was on an MOU. I talk about that on a couple of videos. A memorandum of understanding is a contract that allowed me to go to the VA and have these workshops, these veterans housing and home buying workshops, as you see here in the 3rd edition Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. And when I was no longer there, I'm like, I don't know how to tell people. I wasn't coming on live talking about what I do because it's personal. Even on Facebook, and I've been on Facebook for a long time. Facebook didn't see the homeless veterans who I housed. Some of the former homeless veterans I housed had MBA degrees. They were family men. They were women who were upstanding in the community. You think I'm going to put them on blast? Y'all would never know unless they said, Yvette, it's okay for you to say it. But you never know. But I was getting awards. So I was doing something. Hold on a second. And then I'm going to let y'all go. I got this award this year by the Main Street Organization of Realtors. I think I have a picture of myself over here to show y'all this one. By the Main Street Organization of Realtors, right? This is 2025. Presented to me. This is the President's Award. The President's Award. The President of Main Street Organization of Realtors gave me this award 2025 for outstanding service and dedication, time so generously given to Main Street Realtors. I haven't been able to give it to Main Street Realtors because my class is not licensed anymore, because they're saying, oh, we don't know how to fit it in. So I'm like, don't fit it in. Because what I'm going to do is write the master class. The book is already out, so go get the book. And then you can come and join my master class, because I'm going to tell you how to make a 6-figure income housing homeless veterans. I made a 6-figure income housing homeless veterans. Raised 2 kids, my son flying airplanes, playing 10 instruments, going here. I mean, I flew that boy out every year to go somewhere. My daughter riding horses, ballet, chess. They did everything with a single mom. New car, when a car gives me a noise, it's gone. I'm getting me another new car. Go in the dealership, I can get anything off the floor I want. Housing homeless veterans as a realtor. Even if you don't have but you know what? Let me tell you like this. So good. Keep her name up there. Even though you don't have a background working in housing homeless veterans, I got the education and it's in my books. That's all you got to do is read and join my group, and you learn how to house homeless veterans, because all investors aren't veterans, but this is where the veterans are going to live, in somebody's investment property. They're not living with them. So think about it. You don't have to be, but you have to know how to work in the community. And that's what my books also teach you. Thank you so much for those hearts. Oh, you go, sister. Yeah. So you get the books, because they, I mean, look, after 22 years, and I never told anybody any of this. I have thank you for joining my club again. I never told anybody this because y'all didn't care, especially these realtors. They didn't care, and some of them still don't care. How you get paid housing homeless veterans? getting awards, and top 5 in my office of over 700, over $100,000 housing homeless veterans. Don't play with me. Here's another award that I was given to this year by the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs. This is on Illinois Women Veteran Leaders of 2025, honors me, Yvette Jones Swanson, for your continued service and dedication to the Illinois veteran community. This is 2025, right? Not to mention from the senator, this is a proclamation, and this is just one of 2. I'm supposed to be getting the 3rd one from the commissioner before she becomes senator. I got to call her off. She said, Yvette, remind my office. I'm like, okay. I'll remind your office when I put it on LinkedIn. I'll remind you, Commissioner Donna Miller. So, I mean, look, if you're really interested and really ready to put your boots on the ground, then you just got to learn. You just got to learn. And I've got the education. So go to my bio and buy some books and read and join my group by sending me a picture of yourself holding my books. That's how I'm going to put you in my group. I don't want everybody. I don't, because everybody can't do this. You think you can? Not until you learn. Thank y'all.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At Vet Mentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. Vet Mentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of Vet Mentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.